Mars in Leo, let's talk about it. Greetings, salutations, and good now. I'm local astrologer Kevis Major, doing it major. And like I said, like I showed you guys, Mars is in Leo. All right, so let's talk about it now. Mars represents action, drive, assertiveness, ambition, confidence, boldness. It symbolizes our vitality, our libido, and just the passion that we exude, you know? And so Mars also represents aggression and how we deal with conflict and, how we assert ourselves and even get aggressive and mad and those type of tendencies that and qualities that we need to progress through life, to overcome challenges and to get up when we fall and, take life head on. And so Mars is associated with the fire element, you know what I'm saying? Bringing the fire, bringing the spark, which is energetic, direct, and sometimes even impulsive. Because if you see the fire could really just be like explosive as well. Mars deals with, you know, that type of and emphasis. That's a word that I created, the emphasis. That we really need, you know what I'm saying? So people don't take advantage of us and, you know what I'm saying, you be a pushover. You feel me? Mars makes you and like no, you know what I'm saying? The ability to, say no and to put up a fight and fight for your rights. And so Mars is in Leo. Mars is in Leo. We're gonna talk about Leo because Leo also, is a firehouse that deals with boldness and confidence and, expression and being expressive. It's also a fixated sign. So it could really be persistent and determined with the visuals and the imagery and the image that it's portraying and exuding. And so when we have Mars, which deals with, our passion and aggression and being assertive, in a house that deals with illumination, visuals, being confident and being bold, we see that, we have a lot of emphasis, you know what I'm saying, or drive when it comes to, going towards our goals. And so Mars is going to be in Leo for the next 6 to 7 weeks, or maybe even longer if it goes into retrograde. And Mars rules the first house and the eighth house, which is Scorpio. And so there's a square right now between, where Mars is and where it feels at home. And so it does share qualities, but also we are learning how to connect with, our passions and, that drive in a more direct way, versus when, Mars was fallen in Cancer. And in this video, we're going to talk about, this drive and this assertiveness through the houses and see how this planetary position is going to influence and affect you on a deep level. So when Mars is in Leo, it is compatible and comfortable with, expression. And Mars in Leo makes us more dynamic and confident and driven by the need for recognition or being seen. We know that the Leo energy, loves to be seen or likes attention. So this placement encourages courage, leadership, charisma, and urges one to take action with boldness. Mars in Leo influences individuals to pursue things with a certain sense of flair, pride, and creativity. All right, so just keep that in mind, and we're gonna see how this is going to affect, you, depending on what house is in. Now, before we go any further, just need to say that for you to know exactly where this planetary placement, how it's going to affect you, which aspect of life it's going to affect you in, you're going to need to have a transit reading or natal reading at least. All right. Again, Mars in Leo helps us to, well, it manifests across the 12 houses or the 12 aspects of life in different ways. And so we're going to touch on them. And, you could see which one resonates on you, or you could email me at kevisbmajor@gmail.com or send me a DM to get a natal reading or a transit reading. So if you have Mars in your first house, this is going to be affecting, your personal self, your self identity. So Mars is going to bring assertiveness to your personal identity and even appearance. You might want to express yourself through how you clothe yourself or even your physique. Do things to bolster your physique. There may be a boost in, self confidence and physical vitality just because of, this planetary position. And this should drive, or the fire that is burning inside of you could enable you to make memorable impressions and lasting impressions. So this is really a time for you to be seen, heard, felt, with a focus of, just expressing your authentic self and doing what you're doing for you and not necessarily to please others. If you have Mars transiting your second house, this is going to be, I don't want to say electrifying, but illuminating, your finances and value system. All right, so Mars is going to inspire ambition when it comes to building onto your wealth, building up your money, pushing you towards financial independence and financial freedom, and confidence in, your values and your inner worth. It encourages taking a stand for your personal values, which could lead to like bold financial decisions. And it requires us to be cautious, during a retrograde, especially to avoid, impulsive spending or just, financial unsurety when it comes to making big financial decisions. So again, if you have this in your second house, it's really going to be emboldening, your self worth and, encouraging and motivating you on your financial pursuits. If you have Mars in the third house, you know, energizing the way you communicate, think, analyze. So you're going to become more expressive and persuasive under this influence. Mars here can promote courage when it comes to sharing ideas, standing up for your belief, and even, fostering communication with, your local community, your peers, your siblings, loved ones, people who are in your local vicinity. And this energy could really spark some new friendships and collaborations. If you have Mars in the fourth house, Mars here could, encourage activities that shape your home or your private life and make the environment more homely through, even renovations, renovations, painting, new furniture, just doing some feng shui and switching things around. Also, conflicts in the home may arise in this period. But due to, people wanting to assert themselves, if they have this aspect or energies in their fourth house as well, and it's going to be bringing a change in the home dynamic, whether positive or negative. But you could see that, fire could bring warmth. It could also be burning and transformative as well. But there's going to be a dynamic shift in, your private life, in your home life, where people are going to be more assertive and, want to take leadership or dominance at this point in time. If you have Leo, Mars in your fifth house, Mars transit in the fifth house, this is going to energize, your creativity and even, your romantic or love pursuits, because it's the same type of energy, creative energy, the same energy that you use to create a baby, the same type of energy people use to create a song or a piece of art or anything, believe it or not. So When it comes to this transit, it ignites creativity and it encourages people to take risks when it comes to love matters, art, playful pursuits. Mars fuels passion, specifically when it comes to, dating and intimacy. And there's an inclination towards showcasing your talent, your skills, you know what I'm saying, your game, and expressing, your boldness. Expressing your boldness is favored at this point in time, showing some courage. Got to be careful during the retrogrades, but again, this is a time to show off and showboat if you have Mars transiting your fifth house. Just need to be careful about, being over expressive and going overboard. If you have Mars in the sixth house, this is going to be influencing your work life balance, which ultimately, leads to your health. So, again, energizing your daily routines, sparking ambitions when it comes to, your health and work matters, and just trying to find the equilibrium. And this period might involve, setting new goals when it comes to your fitness, going to the gym, working out, but even embracing more leadership at work, and trying to assert yourself and being a bit more dominant in the workplace. No, and even just refining your work routines and how you go about things in the workplace. And I'm saying, like, it's gonna be funny because if multiple people are experiencing this and multiple people are trying to, you know, be dominant in the workspace, you could see how this could cause, I'm saying, certain type of clashes and conflicts and stuff like this. So you need to go about this time with a certain sense of, with a certain type of suave, because I'm not discouraging you from being competitive and going with the flow of the energy, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So you don't want to over exert yourself or overwork yourself, but again, you know taking more leadership and authority in the workspace is just, where these energies are going to be aiding you. If you have Mars in the sixth house, this is going to be influencing your partnerships and relationships. Mars is going to be pushing for courage when it comes to initiating partnerships or different things and activities and engagements within partnerships and relationships, motivating, like direct communication and just even greater intimacy and, greater connectivity. New partnerships could be formed in this point of time just because of, Mars' tendency to just be bold and courageous, and it is in the space of, fostering those type of close confidence. So you want to avoid, impulsive commitments and just jumping into something, just for the sake of the trail, because we have a lot of placements in Sagittarius. We also have scorpionic energies that are influencing us to connect off a certain vibe, which is opposing Jupiter in Gemini in retrograde, which is another crazy thing. So just be careful with that and focus on strengthening existing bonds. So again, you could dive into new situationships and stuff like this, which is encouraged, no doubt. But we're gonna have certain retrogrades, so you need to keep an eye on this. And again, with the scorpionic energy, it's kind of urging us to deepen relationships that we already have. If you have Mars in the eighth house, this is going to be, energizing the aspects of your life that deals with transformation, sexual energy, shared resources. So this transit can intensify your passion in, again, intimacy, love making, and even inspire you to, dive deeper into finances and specifically shared finances and different resources that you could pull together with another individual or a group of individuals to make the dream work. So Mars is going to fuel personal transformation here, and you know it's going to encourage you to just join, or because that's what the scorpionic energy or eighth house wants to do. He wants to join and have deeper connections and relations, and out of these joining of energies or joining of resources and joining of businesses and families and ideas, we could create something really sufficient. So again, be cautious with sharing of your personal space or ideas or even your body, because some people, when it comes to relationships and intimacy, what I'm saying. So be careful with that as well. At this point in time, if you have Mars in the ninth house, Mars in the ninth house encourages adventure. You understand? It's going to be affecting you in a way that intrigues you and makes you curious and makes you want to travel or just expand mentally, philosophically. And so you're going to want to learn new things and expand your worldview through having different experiences or traveling or studying. So just keep this in mind, and you're going to be quite passionate about this. So again, this is the time to go for that trip. If you've been planning a trip, or you want to go away for university or something like this, you know or you just want to have some sort of transformative experience like doing ayahuasca or something, you know what I'm saying? Because it taps you into higher spiritual states from the experience, ninth house type stuff. Again, with Mars here, this might be a good time to do that. Maybe not so much in the retrograde, but those type of expansive experiences are encouraged during this time. If you have Mars in the 10th house, this is going to be again affecting your career, your public image, and even the way how you take power and authority over your life and over certain situations, people, places, and things. So if you have Mars in the 10th house, this is going to drive your ambition when it comes to your public image and your career, and also your public achievements, because Mars is quite competitive and could be quite aggressive. So it's encouraging bold moves, to secure a leadership role or public recognition. It's a strong period for career building, and we need to be careful throughout the retrogrades, of course, because that's going to be the time for assessment and not really so much externalization of your energies when it comes to trying to manifest this public persona or public image that you're going towards. If you have Mars in the 11th house, again, Mars really adds energy and emphasis and enhances things. 11th house deals with friends, associations, affiliations, and even long-term goals. So Mars is going to give us energy to be more social and network, and to go out and create more meaningful relationships and attach ourselves to more meaningful collective goals. There is a inspiration to champion change and to champion different causes, or to lead a group if you're having this planetary position. you know Mars again could be assertive and courageous and wants to take leadership. So if you're seeing some aspect of the society that is lacking and you could fulfill that need, you're going to be inspired even more to go out and fulfill certain vacuums, if you know what I'm talking about. And that could even trickle down into business, that you know out of the blue you're just seeing a niche that you could tap into per se. So that's how this type of energy could play out, because 11th house again aligns us with long-term goals and collective endeavors. So it could be through associations that you stumble upon some opportunity or fortune or even misfortune, or your spiritual path right now could be to create that association or create that group or organization or society, and you be the leader of it, you be the front man of it if you're having Mars transit in your 11th house. You could be the leader, the speaker of the house, or the leader of the political party or something, you know what I'm saying? If you have Mars transiting the 12th house, this is going to be, energizing spirituality. And this is sort of a paradox, because it's bringing energy to the hidden and subconscious realm. It's bringing fire and illumination. And so it may push you to confront personal fears. It may illuminate the darkness within you, and certain dark traits and traumas and even beliefs may surface, and you may be able to see them in action, debilitating you. And it's a time of recognition. And so you have the ability to confront internal blockages and tackle them head on, tackle them using your fire and your passion. And you could be bold and brave enough to overcome certain things that you weren't previously ready to take on in your life. 12th house is spiritual by nature and deals with the subconscious realm. And so you might find yourself having a lot of visions and daydreams, and even dream a lot, lucid dreams, vivid dreams, stuff like this, out of body experiences and stuff. And kind of puts you in a state of really tapping into your spiritual natures. Now it gets a bit tricky depending on your faith, because again it's going to be illuminating your subconscious. So whatever you have in your subconscious mind is going to be visualized, or you're going to have more inclination to act on it and actually see the power. So if you have something as a spiritual belief that has power, you should be able to see the power. And if you're not seeing the power, then maybe the proof is in the pudding. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Let us know if you're for real. All right, so Mars in Leo basically brings vibrance, and a natural inclination towards just expression and being quite expressive, and also leadership, being courageous, being bold. It's a potent transit for bold personal changes, as you could see from, the different aspects that it could, or different influences depending on where you have it, in your chart. And the transit encourage everybody to act in authenticity and also a sense of clarity. Because how could you assert yourself or be a leader if you don't even know yourself? Okay? So a lot of people might be flunked out because they may feel a fire to, try to rise to the occasion. But if you don't have the confidence to match the confidence that you're feeling, I'm saying it's gonna be like a flunked out incident. And so we need to go through this moment with a sense of knowing thyself. And one way to know thyself is, through astrology. So if you're interested in getting a personal reading, whether it is natal or transit or any other type of reading, send me an email at kevisbmajor@gmail.com, or send me a DM and we could arrange, for such services. Major farewell until we meet or greet again. I'm local astrologer Kevis Major, doing it major.